Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Easy, most known unknown Easy So, and I'm far from great, but I know how to retrace my mistakes. Can't slow down the music in my veins, so I tend to create. I'm in a true state of mind, and the only thing heavier than my weight is my grind. I push tracks like you push keys. Try me over wax, and you'll end up DOA, 6 feet deep. I rep the shy well, learning my history. And you might bring me down, but you never see the end of me. That's just the way it goes. Act up out here, where you end up, nobody knows. Most know the deal. Keep it real or get on. And no weak music we record over your weak song. Some call me weak, but I survive with the strong. Get respect like them. Protect what you own. A big rap scene. Niggas known to rock you or try to warn you don't go on that block by yourself, but yeah, I used to rap. But around that time in high school, who didn't used to rap? Whole crew used to rap. That's just the way it used to be. So yeah, I decided to do it for a little bit. That was one of my little verses. That never came to fruition. Yeah. But I want to come at you real quick. Man, I commend anybody that's doing this YouTube stuff and really being able to put the pieces together, do these reaction videos and stuff like that. I know people say it don't take a lot, and they probably don't, but I'm not that guy, you know, at least yet. And so it's taking me a little bit of time, but I still got stuff coming. I'm gonna still work on stuff. It's been a minute since I've done anything like this, but I just wanted to touch on. So I watch Abba and Preach. Most people probably know who they is. That's in the community of red pill, blue pill, all that stuff, and people that kind of like outside the box stuff. Uh, they're not too usual suspects. They are pretty cool dudes and stuff like that, and uh, they compete with people like Fresh and Fit podcast and what's the one with Andrew Schultz? Yeah, I can't even remember. They've been talking about it all week. And I can't even remember. But nonetheless, podcasts like that, and they give a real world perspective. And Abba, ran into a little trouble with an ex, and an ex is put out there that Abba, and her had, well, we're gonna have a child, but she ended up getting an abortion, and she pretty much stated during the course of the interview that she went on and also the blog that she made that Abba was kind of vehemently not wanting a child, so she ended up having an abortion. And you know, she's been going on a campaign about it. Like I said, she did. I think she did at least one interview, and then some people have been recapping her stuff. Of course, Myron recapped it. I don't know why he did it. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, what they said today when I was watching another blog that they did on this situation, they were correct. Myron and a lot of the other guys are always talking about, hey, do your due diligence. These girls be out here lying. And he was pretty much celebrating. He's pretty much celebrating when this came out. You know what I'm saying? It was like ghetto gold to him and stuff like that. And I found that odd. I found that surprising because it's like, bro, you are one of the main ones that say don't trust these women out here. Do your due diligence. Make sure you research. Make sure you have proof. And but he didn't do it. I was surprised by that. So Myron, get your stuff straight, bro. Now, the reason why I wanted to really touch on this is one, I knew when she did this video that she might have messed with the wrong person to do this video on. Cause Abba, even if you whether you like him or you don't like him, he speaks pretty much fluent truths. Like he don't really hold his tongue about anything unless it's about stuff like this. Private life should be private. You People don't really know my private life off of here. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to keep it that way. In some cases, you want to keep your private life private. You don't want everybody knowing every single thing about you. You just don't. Now, he spoke on the situation with this young lady. He spoke on how she was and the reason why she got an abortion and stuff like that. And I just want to say, for us men, we need to know these signs with these women because there were red flags. And I'm starting to see all the time because I keep seeing people talk about their relationships and how they should have noticed the red flags right away, but they was in love and stuff like that. Now, a person like Abba, I believe it takes a little more than a couple of months to fall in love, but apparently it was able to happen to him, man. Now, I've also seen other people, especially I've been watching these Netflix specials and stuff like that, these My Ex specials and stuff, My Crazy Ex specials, and most of them stories, these people are in love within 2 months of knowing each other. Within 2 months of knowing each other, you don't really know a person like that when you've been in it for only 2 months. Now, and I've said this before. I actually said this in the short. You got to be careful with women because women will switch up on you. They will say one thing and they might do another. And you wouldn't see it coming from every woman because every woman is not the same, but every woman can be spiteful. Every woman can be spiteful. And I know because I've been through it before. I'm always of the assessment of, hey, they might not, but it's a possibility that they can. I've talked to my family members, my brothers, my uncles, cousins, little cousins, especially little cousins, you know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones that stray the most. I'm like, you got to watch these women. And I hate to say it, even the good women can turn cold on you. Or if they feel like they're a good woman, they can turn cold on you. They could be the greatest woman for a long time, and then they just turn cold on you. Now, when they pregnant, because she was pregnant when he was going through all this, but I don't necessarily believe it was the pregnancy that made everything happen in the way it happened. I do think she had tried to get a lot of sympathy for being pregnant and trying to make such a hard choice. Cause if you listen to his stuff, he said it, and I think she said it herself, like, Christian woman and stuff like that. I got the Christian beliefs. I don't believe in abortion, but she ended up getting an abortion. Right? Misleading words, kind of hypocritical, misleading to the eye, to the naked eye. You're saying one thing, but you're doing another. This man ain't the type to do that. He's pretty straightforward with it. Rather than play you or like step out on you or do something crazy, he'll just tell you, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be together. That's the type of man he is. It seems like she was the type of woman that'll say one thing and do another sometimes. But, people like that still are good people for the most part, but they have their flaws. And, a lot of times they can't see their flaws as flaws. And they got to work on themselves. So she still got work to do. You know what I'm saying? I think he still got work to do, but he understands that. He already said that he's still working on himself. But he's trying to move past this. He want to move past it. He want to move back up, to having a pretty decent life, and he hoping she do the same. So my take from what happened with him is he understood the assignment after a while. It got to a point where there was no way out. You know what I'm saying? And I respect him for what he said. He said, I know I gave it my all. Because I've done that before myself. When you give it your all, you really do a lot of stuff that you don't think you would do. You don't even consider thinking like, man, I might do this, I might do that to keep my relationship going. But you will. You will. And he learned that, hey, when it's time to take the L, sometimes it's just best to take the L. Don't let it get too far, and understand what decisions you make. Understand that you have no control over one's life, and you wouldn't want to have control over somebody's life. Now, if you're having a child with that person, you wouldn't want to, if you want to be in a child's life, you got to understand that you got to go hard to make them understand, hey, I do want to be a part of this child's life. And he, from what it looks like, he did the best he could to do that. But at the end of the day, like he said, it was her choice to have the abortion. Ultimately, she had the abortion. And it's just crazy to see where it started to where it went. And I'm assuming just like just like I said before, he probably thought it was gonna be one way. When you in it and you think it's gonna be a certain way, it might not always be that way. He might not thought, because of what she said, he might have never had in his head, hey, she might want to get rid of the kid. I would be surprised too if I'm been with a person for a while now and I see, that they say these things and it's this way. Okay, then it's this way. But then temperature might change, which is what happened to her. And you just gotta understand when you see the signs, just I don't even think you should. So if you a month in and you see a sign, just dip. If you feel like it's a sign that threatens, how things work, just dip. Because I promise you save yourself a lot of headache. A lot of people, even Abba, and like I said, the people from Netflix, they said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I peeped it, but I just, it's nothing. No, it's always something. It's always something. Because if it happens once, it may come up again. And if it's something that you don't like or you're not a fan of, you definitely want to nip it in the bud right then and there. So the way I would say you would do that is simply just get out. Get out of the situation. Once you know the situation is this and you don't want that, or you see signs of this and you don't want it, just dip. It's the best way to handle those situations. I know people say, "Oh, you're closed off. You don't want to get close to anybody." No, it's not that. I just want my peace. I need my peace, and that's a lot of the times what we not getting anymore. So get your peace. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what he did. I appreciate him for him being real, being vulnerable, even though he really, like he said, he don't have to. But that is a man that focuses on truth. What is truth? And it was a good blog, really good blog. Y'all should go check it out. Part one and part two. It was very, very crazy to hear. What happened, what transpired, and hopefully this woman understands that this fame that you're seeking, because I'm assuming she's seeking some fame and maybe some money. It won't last long. You're gonna be known as a girl that almost had a baby with Ava. It's gonna go around the internet for just a little bit, and then you're gonna be gone. Or you might last a little longer. You might last like 6 months, but eventually you'll be gone because you're just gonna be known as that girl. That's all I know. I don't even know your name, and he said your name. You said your name. Other people have said your name, and I still only know you as a girl that dated Abba and had almost had a baby with him. So that is my take on that. I just want to come at y'all with that. It's been a minute like that. But like I told y'all, I'm going to keep dropping. I appreciate anybody checking me out. Appreciate y'all checking out the shorts. I'm going to keep moving. 365 Drive. It's your boy. Easy.